Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a placemat with a machine applique tree design on it. It is a great introduction to machine applique, especially if you have never done this before. So let's get started. To speed up the cutting process, I have stacked the fabric. This is what I'm using on the back, selvage edges folded together, and this is what I'm using on top, and again, selvage edges folded together. I'm going to straighten out my raw edges over here, so I've pulled my fabric past this first line on my cutting mat. Place your ruler on that line and double check to make sure it's all straight before you cut, and then do your first cut. Now don't move your fabric. Move your ruler over to 18.5 inches and line it up on the 18.5 inch line and do your second cut. I still have the fabric stacked together, so now cut the selvage edges off. So I've pulled those selvage edges past that line on my cutting mat. Place your ruler on that line and cut these off. Now again, don't move your fabric, but move the ruler and go up to the 13.5 inch line and do your last cut. Now you have fabric for both the front and back for 2 placemats. Out of that same piece of fabric that you cut your first 2 out, if you're going to make 6 placemats, there's enough in this piece that's been folded at the end that you cut off. So if you're going to make 6, so you can get 3 out of this piece of fabric, line up this fabric here, make sure all your edges are straight, and then from this edge over to here, move your ruler to 13.5 and cut. Place the interfacing on the back side of your fabric for the top. If you're not sure which side has the glue on it, it is the shiny side. So make sure the shiny side is up against the back side. Then pin all of your edges together, all the way around. Then do a machine basting stitch close to the edge on all 4 sides. To create your own Christmas tree pattern, you can either freehand draw your own Christmas tree shape or use a Christmas decoration that is a tree shape and trace around it. This is a wooden tree shape that I purchased at the Dollar Tree store. You can probably find very similar tree shapes at 99-cent store, Family Dollar, Dollar General, wherever you buy your Christmas decorations. So what you want to do is take your fusible web. Now I've already traced it on there, but I wanted to show you if I placed, here is where my fusible web ends, right here. It wasn't wide enough, so I added another piece of fusible web on, and I taped it using Scotch tape along here. Then laid it on there and traced around all of that. After tracing around it, then go ahead and cut around the tree, but do not cut on your drawn lines. Go out at least 1/4 inch and cut it out. Turn your fusible web over to the back where there is no blue lines on it, it's plain paper, and remove the paper off of the back. If you're having difficulty removing it, take a straight pin and tear the paper a little bit. Bend it until you see a little corner pop up, and then remove the paper off of the back side. On your placemat, place a pin here at the top center and down at the bottom center. Take your applique, remove the paper off of the back. Take a pin to tear the paper, bend it, wait for a corner to pop up, remove the paper. Make sure that the glue is staying down on the back of the fabric. Take your applique and place it with the glue side down, and take your time because this is kind of big, so it might take you a while to get it centered. And step back and look at it before you finger press at all. Once you like where it is, then finger press it down. Oops, got to remove my pins, otherwise they're going to get fused on with pins. And finger press it down all over. On the back of your fusible web are detailed instructions on how to fuse it on. I recommend you read those instructions because it may vary from one brand to another. Mine calls for a damp cloth to put over the top. It also requires a hot iron with steam. While you're doing this fusing on, you're also fusing the heavy iron-on interfacing on the back side at the same time. So you're going to cover the entire placemat. So give it a burst of steam, hold it anywhere from 12 to 15 seconds, then lift and do it again until you have all areas of the placemat done. I recommend you let it cool after you are done fusing. I recommend for your applique stitching that you use a medium satin stitch over the edges. Also, I'm using a polyester thread to go over the edges. It shines a little bit more, and cotton frays a little bit and it won't last as long. Also, I'm using an open toe presser foot. You can easily see the needle and see exactly where you are stitching. So center the presser foot over the edge of your applique and keep it there while you are doing your applique stitches. Normally when doing applique stitches, I would recommend putting paper or tearaway stabilizer behind your placemat, but because it's got the iron-on interfacing, it acts as a stabilizer. Take your fabric for the back of the placemat and bring it front side down on top of your front piece of fabric. Then pin all of the edges around all four sides. You're going to leave an opening here, and this opening is used to turn your fabric front side out. So start stitching here, and you're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam, back stitch a little bit, stitch down to this corner, back up, over here, back down, and across, and stop here and back stitch. Before turning it front side out, I recommend that you trim some of the fabric off at the corners. Be careful you don't cut through your stitch line. First go at an angle across that corner and then go alongside the side over here a little bit and over here. So you want to do all four corners. After turning it front side out, turn your edges in at the opening a 1/4 inch so that it's even across here. pin it closed, then press all of your edges flat. Then stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the edge all the way around all 4 sides. Your very last step is to stitch on the outside of your satin stitch all the way around the edge. And what this does is it helps to hold the fabric on the back in place during use and during wash. For more placemat projects, go to the end of this video where you will see a green screen and click on the links. If you liked this video, please click on thumbs up and don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red subscribe button down there in the lower right hand corner of your screen. Click on the little bell and then enter your email address. If you're not receiving emails about my future videos, make sure you look at the settings option on your cell phone or iPad and set notifications to the on position. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. So glad you came to my sewing room. See you next time and happy sewing!